Hello everyone, this is Jeremiah. I just wanted to make a quick video about a computer that I have always been working on, never quite really done. This is my PC home theater computer. It is in a CoolerMaster STC01 computer case from long ago. This computer is a TEC or Peltier cooled machine. Has 3 different radiators on it. The one on the back here is a EVGA 120mm radiator. This is dedicated to the video card. Also has 2 power supplies, 1000-watt lightning for the PC, and then an 850-watt Thermaltake tough power power supply for the cooling system. I'm just going to go ahead and open it up and show you around. There are 2 reservoirs here. One is for the Peltiers, this one here, and then this one is for the CPU. Of course, the CPU is the cold side and the Peltiers are the hot side. The third water cooling loop here is just a very small loop for the video card, a very small pump, and this is a EVGA GTX 680 classified with the backplate and the water block that was made by SwiftTech. The CPU is cooled by a SwiftTech Apogee water block. And the motherboard is an older P55, and the processor is an 875K that's overclocked, of course. I run it at 3.6 gigahertz on all cores. I don't really see a need to run it any higher. I've had it up over 4 gigahertz, but I didn't really see a need for all of that. I have 4 sticks of Corsiar Dominator memory for a total of 8 gigs. And then down here, these are where the Peltiers are cooled. There are 6 Cougar 120mm ultra quiet fans in a push and pull configuration, and both the radiators are stacked. It's the only real way I could fit them in there. And then they blow out the bottom of the case. And then I added some copper tubing down here to lift the computer up a little bit to allow the hot air to escape from underneath the case. Okay, so up front has the ECP controller hooked up to the motherboard here. Here it's displaying postcode. I have it running in BIOS right now. After it's booted, it would display the CPU temperature. There's PCI disabled jumpers right here, so if you are like me and you have a water cooling loop and you cannot take out, say, one of your video cards from the loop to diagnose, because you know what a pain that would be, you can simply disable it by pulling one of these jumpers. It also has voltage bumps here for when you're overclocking your CPU. You just push one of these and it'll bump the voltage up in increments by each of the 3 buttons. And then it has a CMOS reset button there, so you can clear your CMOS from the front of the case. Also power and hard disk drive indicators, and then a power switch and reset switch on the same buttons there. And then I also have an older Thermaltake water temp display here. Right now it says that the temperature of my cooling loop is at 17.3 degrees Celsius. Or 63.3 degrees Fahrenheit. And the neat thing about thermal electric chillers is that most of the time you're trying to get your CPU to be ambient temperature plus so many degrees. With Peltiers, you can get it below ambient temperature. So like I said, right now it says it's at 17.2 degrees Celsius. And my room temperature right now is at about 24 degrees Celsius, so definitely under ambient temperature there. I'll go ahead and pop off the front and show you guys what's behind the cage here. So, right here also, there's some vents like the rest of these covers are. This is where the power supply that's mounted in the drive bay vents out its hot air. It seems to work pretty well. Here's the hard drive cage. Inside here are two Corsiar 120 gig GT Force, the red drives, and a RAID 0 for the operating system. And then there's a 2 terabyte black hard drive from Western Digital in there. And then down here is where I have my Peltier stack. A lot of people will take the Peltier and they'll mount one single powerful Peltier between the CPU and the water block. The reason I decided to go this route instead is because if the Peltier fails, it can actually contribute to boiling your CPU. Also, the Peltier won't conduct heat if it does fail or if it's not getting any power. In this case, I have 3 90-watt Peltiers. So if one of the Peltiers fails, the temperature will go up a bit. There is a temperature alarm on here. It's set to go off at 36.8 degrees Celsius on the water cooling loop, and if you think about that, it's really not that hot. That's really 98.5 degrees, it says. So, I mean, not really a big deal if one of the Peltiers fails in my system, because I'll have some warning time, and 2 more Peltiers to keep it cool. So yeah, there's 3 of them down here, sandwiched between 4 copper water blocks, just some 90-watt Peltiers. They're 40 by 40 millimeters, as are the water blocks, of course. And then I used some thermal tape brackets from some older water cooling blocks that I have to sandwich them together. And then I used the stock brackets that came with these cooling blocks to sandwich them together in the other direction, and then also to bolt it to the side of the case so it's nice and then they're very sturdy. Underneath I have a SwiftTech variable speed water pump. This is for the cold side of the loop. I have it set on 4 out of 5, so you know I don't have it cranked all the way up, but I wanted some good flow but still keep it quiet. And then underneath this I have an MCP 350 water pump. This is what circulates, also from SwiftTech, what circulates the hot water on the hot side of the TECs to keep them cool. And then overall, there's 820 millimeter fans in here. You know, considering it's still pretty quiet, even with 2 water pumps running. And then I have one 80 millimeter fan up top, which is, with this case, would fit stock. It is old, so it was before the time of 240 millimeter fans and things of that sort, but it still serves my purposes just fine. And oh yeah, the other thing about the Peltiers is I ran 1 Peltier on each one of the rails that's on here. I did have a single rail power supply in here powering the Peltiers, and although the single rail power supply would put out, I think it was 500 watts on 1 rail, the wires could not handle that, and neither can the plugs. So if you do something like this, make sure that the rails that you have the Peltiers on, including the wires and the connectors that you're using, can handle the current that these pull, because they do pull a lot of power. But if you have any questions or comments, just let me know. Post them on there, and thank you for watching.